Human Settlements in the Eastern Cape, Ms. Lucity, who has heeded the cry of our human settlement graduates and placed 24 of them from our university and our sister university of Fort Hare across selected Eastern Cape municipalities on a short-term contract of 2 years. As the university, we have recently offered our capability through the Chair of Human Settlements to provide technical support to the Eastern Cape Department of Human Settlements in the process of conceptualizing and designing a responsive Eastern Cape human settlement graduate strategy that will see the smooth transition of human settlement students from classroom to the labor market. And I'm really concluding now. On behalf of the management of Nelson Mandela University, the staff, students, and the broader university community, let me again warmly welcome you all at this Indaba. Feel at home as you engage on these important discussions and as you deliberate and co-create a better Eastern Cape, a better South Africa, a better Africa, and a better world. I would like to leave you with a quote from our iconic namesake, Nelson Mandela, and I open quote, "Vision without action is just a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. And vision with action can change the world," close quote. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I saw one side of the room clapping. I would like the entire room to applaud her. Okay then. Thanks a lot, Doc. And I think we are now feeling better than we were in the morning, even cold-wise, after this warm welcome. I would like at this point in time to get to the next point, as we are reminded that learning is a lifelong exercise. Through these programs, we can still join the learning field. At this point in time, I would like us to welcome to the stage our host in this city, the first citizen of this city, Executive Mayor, Honorable Councillor Van Niekerk, to render opening remarks for this Indaba. Over to you, sir. I would like us to accompany him to the podium.
Program Director, Premier of the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mobiane, Speaker of the Eastern Cape Legislature, Sauls August, the Acting Vice Chancellor, Dr. Moeng, the MEC of Human Settlements, as well as all other MECs present here today, representatives from EXEC, Human Settlements representatives from national government, provincial, and local government. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go off script immediately by saying that my late partner, who passed on 1.5 years ago, who was a lecturer at this university, and who always had this belief, first the dream and then the belief that I'd be the executive mayor of this metro, would have been so proud to see me here today standing. Thank you. Good morning. This Indaba is taking place at the beginning of Mandela Month, a time when we all are reminded of our social responsibility to take care of the poor, destitute, and the most vulnerable in society. Beyond the needs of having decent jobs and enough food to eat, the growing demand for adequate housing is paramount. Since I took office, and I was just reminded by the, by the Honorable Premier, since I took office on the 26th of May, I had to attend numerous protests. I just come from one now in Bethelsdorp. The most notable complaints are lack of housing and electricity. The South African Cities Network further predicts that by 2050, that's 2050, more people will be living in urban centers than in rural areas. This means we have our work cut out for us. While welcoming you, I would like to appeal to you that we must come up with tangible solutions to fast-track housing delivery. It is nowadays not surprising to hear from communities that their pleas are falling on deaf ears. They reach the point of desperation and see no other option but to engage in civil disobedience by stoning and burning state property. How did we get here? Government officials and politicians like myself are treating their needs as an annoyance instead of prioritizing their needs and wants. President Cyril Ramaphosa often speaks of developing a professional government where officials are treating the needs of our residents with the necessary urgency it deserves. With innovative solutions, we can make a difference. One of our new coalition goals is to fast-track housing delivery. In closing, I wasn't that long, eh? In closing, I want to remind us that we are indeed our brothers' keepers. Together we can be the change everyone else is waiting for. With these few words, I would like to welcome you and wish you well with your deliberations. I thank you. Nkosi kakhulu. Baie, baie dankie.
Okay. Again, I saw now a fraction of a room, another side clapping. Now, I would like us to say baie dankie na die burgemeester en sal ons klap ons hande en gee hom 'n round applause. Baie dankie vir dat. That was good. That was good. Now we are getting to the next item. The next item is on acknowledging the guests that are in our midst. And the person that is best suited to do that is none other than Thabisa Phoswa, the head of department responsible for the Department of Human Settlements in the Eastern Cape Province. Over to you, Titi.
Program Directors, Mr. Mosana and DDG Sokutu. My task this morning is to acknowledge our guests, strategic partners, and the leadership that have taken their time, considering their other obligations, to honor this first provincial human settlements Indaba platform as hosted by the 6th administration for the first time. Respecting all protocols, it is a pleasure to acknowledge the Premier's presence of the province, Honorable Mabiana, whom we are grateful to that he has graced us with his presence to address this Indaba, to share with this platform valuable insights on diagnostic overview of citizens' perceptions on government, reflections on transformation programs, especially on youth development, military veterans interventions, support to the disability sector, gender transformation and safety in communities, amongst others. These issues have a direct impact on the deliberations and outcomes of this Indaba. Recognition and gratitude for the presence of the National Minister of Human Settlements, Honorable Minister Kubai, who will be part of day 2 of the Indaba, is also highly appreciated. And she will be sharing with us a national perspective on human settlements, especially the strides and challenges that still faces all of us in delivering the desired impact of housing for our people. Program directors, I would also like to acknowledge the executive authority that has been given an opportunity and mandate to champion the aspirations of our people with regards to human settlements in the province and the brains behind this 2023 human settlements in Indaba. We are indeed led and guided as management by the Honorable MEC Lucity, who is also here with us today. With Honorable MEC Lucity is also other members of the Executive Authority. We've got MEC Konsiwe and MEC Nkopane with us as support. The event of this magnitude does not come together in isolation. Your portfolio has a heavy responsibility that requires devotion of time and energy serving the people of the Eastern Cape. We are also indeed appreciating the presence of the Eastern Cape Legislature, as led by Honorable Speaker of the House, Ms. Souls August, who has confirmed to be in attendance, and we believe she's on her way, hence we're acknowledging her. She's accompanied by members of the Portfolio Committee, the Chair of our Portfolio Committee, Honorable Twabu, Honorable Fihlani, Honorable Vimbayo, as well as Honorable Matiwani. The Oversight Committee on Human Settlements in the province plays a very extreme critical role in strengthening the work that we do in order to deliver to the required services and aspirations to our communities. The implementation of human settlements mandate takes place at geographic spaces that are occupied by traditional leadership in the province. And it is therefore significant to acknowledge Nkosi Gwadiso amongst us, who also agreed to participate in conversations regarding the reimagining of future of settlement patterns in the province. Thank you to our host, Nelson Mandela University, as led by acting VC, Dr. Mweng, who was here. This indeed is a privilege to us that we do not take for granted, acting VC. You have always been a pillar of guidance and strength in terms of the work that we do as the department and interacting with the university under the species of Professor Mbanga, who's the chair for sustainable human settlements within the university and whom we acknowledge. We would also acknowledge and extend our sincere gratitude for the presence of the political leadership at the local sphere of government, whom we work with very closely for integrated planning. We've got the Nelson Mandela Honorable Councillor that was here, the Executive Mayor, Van Niekerk. We also have got Honorable Mayor for OR Tambo, Councillor Ndwana with us. We also have got Executive Mayor for Amatole District Municipality, Councillor Nzangani. We also have seen coming in Executive Councillor for BCM, Councillor Faku. We are also indeed appreciating the presence of senior officials from the National Department of Human Settlements, Office of the Premier in the province led by the DG, Mr. Sokoni, and other colleagues from other departments, and the counterparts of mine, the other HODs who are also forming part of these conversations today, and they are going to be extremely critical in facilitating and moderating various conversations and discussions. Program directors, please allow me to acknowledge all organizations that agreed to be part of the human settlements in Indaba. We are delighted to have amongst us the Eastern Cape Rental Tribunal. We've got our entities that we work with, the NHBRC, we've got KUHA, we've got HDA, we've got Contractors Association representatives that are here with us. We've got SHR, we've got South African Cities Network, we've got Salga Eastern Cape, we've got Kholihlatla Power Lines, which is a community-based organization. We've got AFISIS Copland, a non-governmental organization. We've got Sega Capital International, BRICS Women Business Alliance, and NAFCOC. Lastly, we acknowledge the presence of all stakeholders, all guests, and all officials who diarized this date and agreed to be part of this platform for hard conversations that will impact on the operations of the department, both at policy as well as at implementation level. Conversations that will be facilitated and moderated during these 2 days will address service delivery challenges, including opportunities of integrated as well as sustainable human settlements through collaboration and partnerships. It really is an honor to have you all here in this distinguished gathering of government, political leaders, traditional leaders, provincial government, academic leaders, business forums, NGOs, private sector broadly, and industry leaders. It's an intersessional gathering with full agenda designed to exchange ideas, propose solutions, window of opportunity to focus on the wealth of experience as well as expertise each of us can provide on addressing the challenges of keeping the human settlement space strong and relevant. There is much work to be done during this Indaba as we all participate actively with ideas in the commission so that we can form the best possible set of proposals to be considered going forward. Program directors, there will be other guests that are coming in later which will be acknowledged by the program directors as well as those that I may have omitted, and my apologies for that. I am indeed grateful for this platform and thank you very much for your time.
We started on a very good note. The entire house is clapping. Shall we clap until she sits down? Okay, thanks a lot, Ms. Poso. I don't know what you did, because previously it would be one fraction clapping, another fraction clapping, but this time around, everybody, I don't know what you did, but whatever you did was good. Thanks a lot. I would like us to move on with our program, get to the next item, where we will get the setting of the tone. Yeah, we've been welcomed, there have been opening remarks, we've been acknowledged, but now we're going to be given how to shape, how to conduct ourselves, how to sit, how to argue, as the tone gets set by our honorable member of the Executive Council, the responsible for human settlements in the Eastern Cape, Honorable MEC Mani Lusiti. Shall we applaud her as she comes up? Thanks a lot.
Ndakwazi ubaleka mamsokuthi. Ndakwazi ubaleka. Program directors, let me take this time to greet the Honorable Premier, the members of the Provincial Executive, Madlamini and Cash No Credit Mabai, the members of the Provincial Legislature, the Deputy Chief Whip Manyati Skokelwe Nguwe namhlanje, members of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements, the Provincial Chairperson of Stalga, Councillor Ngundwana, and the Acting Executive Mayor of OR Tambo, Mamuso Kanyil. The Honorable Mayor of Nelson Mandela and your leadership, the Deputy Executive Mayor, and all executive mayors, I know the BCM, Councillor Faku, all the MMCs of human settlements that are here, the acting Vice Chancellor of the Nelson Mandela University, the DG, HOD, and all HODs present, and all government officials that are here. I want to greet Chomis Zetu in the building of sustainable integrated human settlements, our institutions that are partnering with us, our traditional leaders who are quite a critical stakeholder, especially when you're talking rural housing. We want to greet all of you here today, ladies and gentlemen. All of you are our partners of provincial government in building sustainable integrated human settlement. We are convened here today for the first ever Eastern Cape Human Settlements Indaba under the theme of accelerating the delivery of sustainable integrated human settlements in the Eastern Cape through collaborations and partnerships, leaving no one and no place behind. The reason why all of you have been invited here is really because we can deliver integrated, sustainable human settlements through collaborations and partnerships. This human settlements in Indaba is a product of the perspective that was articulated in our 2023-24 budget and policy speech, and in our engagement with strategic stakeholders, where we saw it necessary to create a platform that will bring all of us together for conceptual clarity on the establishment of integrated human settlements in our province. We are convened in the Nelson Mandela Month, a month wherein we commemorate the contribution and the good deeds of Utatu Mandela through meaningful programs. It must be mentioned proudly that since 1994, the ANC-led government has delivered subsidized housing to more than 3 million households, and this has been one of the notable quantitative successes of the South African developmental goals. The housing delivery program was championed by the late First Minister of Housing, Utatu Joe Slovo, who articulated that housing delivery is at the core of the restoration of the dignity of our people. He articulated that, I quote, "Housing is a physical requirement, but equally it is also more a spiritual need which goes to the root of a dignified and tolerable life. It is at the core of a better life for all South Africans," close quote. Undoubtedly, a lot has been done in changing the landscape of our province through the establishment of human settlements. Since inception of the democratic dispensation, the government has delivered subsidized housing, and this has been really despite the substantive investment. The demand for housing closer to economic opportunities continues to be the main challenge facing our country. The latest assessment in the 2017 indicates that just over 80% of South African households live in formal dwellings, and the lowest proportion across provinces was that of our province, Eastern Cape, that is sitting at 70.4%. One of the contributors to this reality is that the prevailing period is characterized by deep-seated challenges of unemployment, inequality, and poverty. It then follows the need for decent shelter, and social infrastructure will be on the rise. This means we must prioritize the implementation of programs which will yield the greatest impact towards the attainment of Vision 2030. Then this reality suggests that whilst the province has to attend to issues of historical underdevelopment in our rural areas, we have to have the necessary foresight to plan for the rapid urbanization and for the demand for urban settlements. Historically, the government's perspective on housing emerged from a human rights framework, the constitutional right to shelter, that has been inspired by our Freedom Charter. Furthermore, partners, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 2 decades, the housing program has undergone the policy revisions which has seen a transition from building of houses to creating of sustainable communities and sustainable urban forms. This illustrates that the Human Settlements Program is not just housing or shelter, but human settlement. It must be integrated to its socio-economic context. These policy shifts have primarily been informed by the recognition that housing plays a meaningful role in improving the broader socio-economic participation of our people. Indeed, the shift from houses to human settlements principally acknowledges that settlements should serve a broader purpose that fosters the integration of our people into an inclusive economy and society, rather than mainly being about the construction of more housing units. It is in this context that in the post-policy speech stakeholder engagement, we undertook to engage our stakeholders to synchronize planning of human settlements in the province. We view the Nelson Mandela University as a critical stakeholder for its strategic capacity as a knowledge production hub. The department, therefore, in partnership with the Nelson Mandela University, amongst other stakeholders, commits to looking for conceptual clarity and planning of the development of sustainable integrated human settlements. This Indaba should be groundbreaking in such that we emerge out of it with quite a clear conceptualization of the establishment of quality, sustainable human settlements. It must be that there is a clear role clarification of its strategic stakeholder. Honorable Premier, we take forward to commit to your pronouncement in the State of the Province address. Our work will be anchored on the manifesto of the ruling party, the Freedom Charter, the Provincial Development Plan. We will surely leave no one and no place behind. Ours is to achieve the strategic objective of the National Democratic Revolution, hence the importance of having all of us here under one roof to converse on the establishment of human settlement. The multiplicity of the strategic partners here will surely help us in strategic thinking of what should constitute quality integrated human settlements. We are really looking forward to your meaningful contributions in the human settlements in Indaba as part of shaping our collective articulation of the Eastern Cape we want. That will be the future for our children. Thank you very much.
Yes, the only thing that is remaining is that we accompany her to her seat. Okay, thanks a lot, Honorable MEC, for that. The tone is set. Now we are getting to the next item, and I would like to change approach as we get to this next item. All speakers have been using this side coming to the stage, but henceforth, ziyajikizindo, speakers are going to use that side. And the first speaker that is going to be using that side is the speaker that is going to render the keynote address. And I would like to call upon the Honorable Premier of the Eastern Cape. It's safer that side, Honorable Premier. I do not want to lose my job. I do not want to lose my job. Okay. Yes. We are welcoming our Honorable Premier, the first citizen of the Eastern Cape. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Honorable Premier. I don't want to lose my job, but I'm that Mr. Sokoto who caused injury to the Premier.
Hayi ndabona DDG wena ufuna uyojendala awunondihambisa indlela ende kanga kanti usafuna uhlala lapha ngiyabona wasebenza uyintombi ufuna uyojendala thank you very much, program directors, DDG Sokutu, no CEO was a exec, Budvoyo, uvuyo lwamampondo. Amampondo ahambe ezifaka kuyo yonke into. Aphethe ke ngo. Minister of Human Settlement in absentia. We heard the apology earlier on. The MEC, our host, kwakunye ne-MEC zonke ezilapha today to support. I know you are all busy. You should be busy somewhere. Kodwa umsebenzi kaRhulumente uyayifuna inkazathi yagodusa. The executive mayor yase Nelson Mandela, Mayor Gary van Niekerk, all mayors that are present here, and MMCs, because I was told that other municipalities are represented by their member of municipal committee, MMC or mayoral committee, committee mayor, or the ministers lapha. Usihlalo wendlu yenkosi okhoyo phakathi kwethu indlu yenkosi ke apha ephondweni Nkosi uGwadiso. Amalungu eParlamente akhoyo, the MPs, the MPLs and all councillors in our midst. The leadership kaSalga. Hey, chaos iba. So usokhanyile noNgqondwana. Bamane besobelana apha endleleni. Kuthiwa namhlanje unguSalga wena. So yabona ke inhloko kaSokhanyile ithambile. You can do that at your own peril, Ngqondwana. Ungandifaki. Director General and all HODs and other senior government officials, I was told that also in our midst there are government officials from national. We do really appreciate their presence. The acting, the Vice Chancellor, DVC, Professor Mweng, and the entire university community. I think apha kukho o-HOD, niyobelana ngezikhundla apha kanhleli nonto. Kubeko o-HOD, kubeko nabanye, but also the institutional forum, the student leadership. I was told represented by the SRC leadership. So I was once an SRC president, so I really respect that space. Eyaphi yaseFort? Yes, bakhona no SRC president be-term eziyi-1 mna ndabethi i-term zambini njengu-president. You see, I'm a lifetime president. Our social partners in the housing sector, the invited stakeholders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. Firstly, I appreciate your welcoming address, the Acting Vice Chancellor. It's quite refreshing, I must say. I'm not comparing it to other presentations. Yes, others were scene-setting, but because of concrete things that you presented here for us as government, we have got an axe to solve. And we have committed ourselves to go empirical on every attempt to solve the problem. The shortcut is not helping, so we are more interested now in the R&D. So we must always look at that empirical evidence. So things that you have put here, you probably fell short. You should have said everything as a Vice Chancellor, not only focusing on the housing that we're here for today. We know this university assisted us on the Oceans Economy Master Plan. This university has got a solution that we're grappling with as government on the transition to EVs. This university is far. The last time I was here in Nelson Mandela in another platform, I saw a lot of work that we're also doing when it comes to the oceans economy research and others. And I had an interaction a lot with your people that were representing you in that particular program. Molo now, sis. Okay. Omnye umuntu ebekwangxolisa uba awunayo into ongasibulisi wena. Kodwa simeca kwakho pha. Ubulise wonke umuntu ungasibulisi. So ndicela uxolo ke ngaloo nto. So surely I'm happy that the MSc and yourself or the department you have already found ways of collaborating and get things done. So that's what we would want to see. Colleagues, I stand before you today as the Premier of the Eastern Cape, both with honor and a great responsibility. At the dawn of the new era of human settlement, as we convene at this significant human settlement in Indaba, in this significant university, during this significant month of celebrating life and times of our father, Udalbunga, it is with one shared vision that of building the Eastern Cape we want. So we would not be here if we were not actually enjoined by that. The overarching theme for this Indaba, as many speakers have actually nicely articulated it, says accelerating the delivery of sustainable integrated human settlement in the Eastern Cape through collaborations and partnerships, leaving no one and no place behind. It is a self-explanatory theme on a subject matter that I hope is close to all of our hearts. Sometimes when we gather at these summits, I feel like we are ticking boxes for operational plans. I even contemplated putting a moratorium on summits some time ago because I felt we are making summits a norm. I was actually really grappling with this understanding. I asked MEC, why summit when we are left with 8 months? He said, no, but government is not left with 8 months. There's still government coming. In Nelson Mandela, you've got government that has got 24 days old. So even in 8 months, there will be another new government coming, whether it's you or not, but there will still be government. So the planning and the ongoing strategic thinking in government doesn't stop simply because that's how the MEC engaged with me. I'm happy that you are really practical in this collaboration with all programs. And then acting Vice Chancellor, this abuse of universities when they enter into an agreement with government, we turn around and create stories and abuse government on good intentions. When Premier Stoffile made an initiative, it was out of a concern that our university lack resources. Government has resources, but many of our people, public servants, civil servants, public representatives, they were all going to the universities outside the province, spending half of their time in those block sessions in Wades, UJ, Stellenbosch, elsewhere, studying. Whilst we've got 4 universities here that should be able to provide and give us these sort of cutting-edge solutions. So Stoffile facilitated that there must be this agreement, and all our universities must be given space to participate in that so that the legally government has from a skills development fund. It is not spent outside universities. So xa ikhansila namalungu eParlamente ahambe uhlala ngapha eThekwini, afika bezi-tourist pha, usive uhlala pha i-2 weeks on a block session. You are contributing to the economy there, government is paying money. So we want to spend every likely cent that is allocated for this province, in our province. We've got UNISA here, you've got every university. So it's going to be important that we do that. Yabona ke ndingaboni ninika abantu i-certificate namhlanje late. Fortunately ndizabe ndingekho. So ngomso okanye kule veki zayo sivuke nezitori zoba ikhona into engaqondakaliyo ngezo certificate. Ninemikhuba. Hey, ikhona into engaqondakaliyo ngezo certificates and I'm saying this because I was very interested in doing an in-depth analysis on effectiveness of the IGR when I was appointed as an MEC for a department that deals with transversal. So I was interested in that. So it was just driven by my own thinking. So sometimes you don't understand. So please, actor new president kweli lizwe xeshanyana elincinci nje kwayoliwa kwelinye ilizwe ngokukhawuleza. So asifuni ke imfazwe xa ku-actwa. But on a serious note, government is committed in partnering with our university because we can't deal with challenges of research and development, the innovation, without these knowledge-based institutions like our universities. So it's important that everything that we do, but let's just be careful about the integrity and how we treat people in whatever that we are doing. The overarching, as I've said, really gives us this sort of an indication, and it is quite self-explanatory. I have a challenge for all participants for this summit, as much as I really don't believe in much in summits, because you take decisions on top of other decisions. All of you, please make sure that you take a minute, a moment, iba nomzuzu wedwa, uke ucinge ngomntu ohlala kwi-informal settlement. Andikwazi nditsho uba wawuke wahlala na kwi-informal settlement. Kodwa ndiyayazi ngoba ndifunda high school mna ndandihlala kuyo, ndihlala kwindlu eback ye-stop nonsense. Iflat yokwe nge-stop nonsense. Eyobethelelwe ngamazinga amadala anerusi. Kuba kwinto ekuthiwa yinqojela at some point. Abile amazinga ebusika kubanda. Abile amazinga ebusika akubiliswa bubushushu. Woleka nedyasi apha ngaphakathi endlini. So I want you to have that sort of a self-reflection. Think about such kind of people, leadership of business and NAFCOC. Yeah. Think about those people. Into enzima ke bakwarhulumente kukuba sive sinika abantu i-responsibility yosolve problems abangenazo i-practical experiences zazo. Sihle sinyuka ke ngoku xa sibangakubonisa ubungaboni. You see. So andithi kuyanyanzeleka uba iba ne-practical experience, but I think this moment that I'm talking about will help you to understand the challenges that led to what happened in Kliptown that I will speak about at a later stage. So I really want you to picture this informal settlement. Imagine a place where there are no proper streets, no yards, no playgrounds. Picture the unhygienic communal toilets and power lines running across walkways, creating a health hazard for residents. Imagine life, how life is in such an environment in a rainy season that has floods. That's what we are here for. We're not here to tick boxes. Imagine how is it like to sleep in an informal settlement during cold winter nights where you are seated. Mhlawumbe uninzi lwenu okanye half of people here never experience what I'm talking about. But you assist with the responsibility of solving problems of those people. So the more you engage on these issues, you must have a sense that there are people who are agitated out there who are really expecting us to do. That's why I did in the city. Pakwarhulumente sonke qala ku politicians ukuya kuni DG. Uba siqashelwe ukusebenza samkele. Asiqashelwanga kwamkela sisebenze. Basiqashiwe. So it's going to be important that we internalize that. That's why we are called civil servants and public representatives. How is civil servant? Amongst those people are those people who reside in informal settlement. Uninzi lwenu ke anibenzi no door to door. So even if zangu hlale pha uba ukhe uye kwinto ekuthiwa ngu-door to door, you will have a sense of what is it when you enter that house. Ufumane umama ona 8 years old, 90 years old, esithi kukwam apha. How painful it is. So as you sit here, think about such issues. I challenge all of you to use this Indaba to find solutions to the conditions of our fellow Eastern Cape citizens who are living in informal settlements. Give us solutions on how we can reduce and ultimately end informal settlement, because the Freedom Charter said we must abolish slums. Prime Directors, our agenda is as broad as it is specific. We're here to critically examine the efforts in creating a more livable, equitable, and prosperous Eastern Cape, to identify our strengths and shortfalls, and to collaborate on transformative solutions that will carry our people towards a future that every citizen of this great province not only needs, but richly deserves. to the provincial and local government representatives here, the academia, business leaders, NGOs, builders, contractors, and all stakeholders present here today. I appreciate your commitment and effort in steering this critical conversation. Our unit and collective effort is the cornerstone to build a province that offers safety, quality housing, social cohesion, and access to essential services. Program directors, the context of human settlement in our province is located in the Freedom Charter, a living document of our struggle for freedom. The masses of our people who gathered in Kliptown on the 26th of June in 1955 declared that there shall be houses, security, and comfort in our country. Well, in 30 years now, we are going to give that kind of stock taking and where we were and where we are. Through this declaration, we envisage a South Africa where all South people shall have a right to live where they choose, be divorced, and to bring up their families in comfort and security. It was also through this declaration that we were committing to abolish slums and build new suburbs where all people have access to transport, roads, lighting, playing fields, creches, as well as social centers. Yabona bethu tata ke bona babesuka apha because we're a labor sending province. Mhlambe fihlane yakodwa noba wayibhaqa and 560. Xa efika apha eqeshwe kwaTeba, ufika aye straight enkomponi, ehostel. Akanabomi nenye society. Uboma nabo yile ndawo ahlala kuyo nala mgodi okanye yile hostel ahlala kuyo nala fame emqashileyo. Uba umama uyile pha kutata eGauteng uzawucacalaza pha phandle ehostel ubusuku bonke ehleliswe pha alinde ixesha elithile funeka utata aphume ahamba ayomqashela umkhukhu elokishini. Ndithetha into ezam zomqala kanye nemqala. So this is where we are coming from. Yabona ke kwelinye icala ungakucimba kule meko sikuyo ye-equitable strategy ngoku ingathi noba yayibhetere because oomama nabantwana were compelled to stay here. Ngoku when we liberated our people baxolele ukuhamba noba bazawufika bahlala emikhukhwini nabantwana. Hence we are losing kids to other provinces. Hence we are losing population to other provinces because people are moving out. So Eastern Cape ke ngoku na ufike ube nobomi obubini. Hence thina we are victims of both the inward and outward migration. People are leaving the province, the brain drain that we are seeing, but also people are leaving the rural areas into the urban centers. Hence you have got a challenge, Gary, where you are, of this moving target of housing. That's why you were in that protest action. People looking for abashimizi yabo abazofuna umsebenzi banyanzelekile kuba umsebenzi ngathi ufumaneka apha. So it speaks to us on this integrated approach and strategic thinking on how do you deal with this evenly balanced development of the country as well as the development of the province. Ungacingi ngezindlu. Sungacinga ngezindlu. Cinga ngobomi babantu. So this is what our government seeks to correct and redress the imbalances of the past. Baba khona kabantu abathi hayi kubhetele kwa urhulumente wangaphambili ube uqonda akanayo ne-experience yorhulumente wangaphambili. Yeah, but it's just exposed to the better things that are happening, but kuba ke singasoze sonele zizinto. We've made a considerable strides from 1994 to date on the delivery of houses in our province. More than 419,000 low-cost houses units have been built and handed over to our people. It's almost $500 million. We're almost close there. And MEC and HOD, if we were meeting targets, mayors, of every year, we would be more than this number now. But because we don't meet targets of delivering these houses every year, yes, we are delivering them, but we are not meeting these targets that we set for ourselves. In Nelson Mandela, for almost the last 10 years now, we've been struggling to build houses because of the instability in governance. Because kawuzokokha indlu akufani napha ezilalini ukuthi anali ingxola ukuthi ihlaba apha ndihlakatazi amatyamane ihlaba apho apha funeka kubekho ukhansila kubekho ubani bani kube kuformalize kwenziwe zonke izinto oomatiwana basengqamakho hayi uhleli nje ucandelwe inxiwa nje ile nto ke ndithi ke Nkosi ugwemngele lo mcimbi mane kuthiwa umhlaba wasezilalini ngowenkosi communal land has got a bit of its distortion efuneka siyixoxe kakuhle. Asikho isizathu sibangela abantu basezilalini banganikwa i-title deed siba ngabe i-title deed yi-economy seni-economic activity because umzi wakowenu wakowenu wangokankosi intsimi yakokwenu imokolo yakokwenu yeyakokwenu ayokankosi le nto ye-land expropriation without compensation kudala yenziwa phaa ezilalini bantu baseGqeberha phaya wawuthi wawungayilimi intsimi iminyaka emithathu DG ithathwe ngurhulumente waseTranskei kuthiwe ixhonyiwe laa ntsimi sakusetyenziswa laa language yapha izayokothulwa ngumntu ozafika ayithatha ayirhafele laa ntsimi itshintshe laa ntsimi ibiyakokwenu benikhuliye katatomkhulu ibe yeyakulobani because apha kowenu akho mali yoyirhafela. So that was a land expropriation without compensation because umhlaba lo wawusenzelwa uba umhlaba is a factor of production. Awunikwa ntsimi uba mawombise unikwa intsimi into yoba velisa khona ukuze kuphuhle abantu. So I'm saying we've done this so far in these 30 years, but I can tell you we can still do more. But if internalize, see appreciate the clarity and concept of rural development, we will forever having people coming into East London Executive Mayor, coming to PE. You will forever having this unending space, say informal settlement. Kuba umuntu ufika ahlale nje umntakwabo apha intsuku iveki benye kuthiwe kuyandlova kwela cala hayi ikho nto eyenzeka kwela cala umuntu awucanda inxiwa lakhe phaa. You see, so we can't continue with that sort of an arrangement at all. That's why our government said in this sixth term, let's look at this broad spatial development of our province, move the development as well across the Kai so that our people are developed where they are. It's painful. Xa ndiye phaa eKapa DG nabandibheka eParliament indawo endiye ndizihambe angayazi ke masiphumelele madodana kodwa okwaye imasiphumelele iphaa efish hook and andizihluphi nozihlupha phaa xa ndiya phaa safika ndimise nje kwii-robots ndizawuthi qhi ngentathambana yakuthi ihlange esitratu you see ihleli phaa ndisho ndilapha ndizofuna ubani uhlala apha atsho amapolisa ngenye imini baamane le ndawo sifaka kuzo azikho right ndibona ngasekapa kaloku ndiwanikwe phaa amapolisa babefama andiwazisanga kule ndawo ndiwazise kuyo. You see, but I'm saying this will forever be like that, able to create this conducive environment for this evenly balanced development for our people. Abantu bakuthi bamke apha bayokokha izindlu eKapa ezibefama siyazakha apha. Yabona i-theme yethu ithini ithi asishiye namnye ngasemva but xa sinendlu esingayakhanga sishiye umntu ngasemva ebekufanele uba siyakhile. That's why we must build this house. For